Mic check 1 2 1 2. 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 Blunt Talk with LT episode 22. Shit, I should have checked before I started this. Yeah, episode 22. I'm gonna run with that. I'm pretty sure it's episode 22. Gotta be sure. Episode 21 was the last one. I have 22 in the playlist because of that. Yep, it's 22. Episode 22. All right, where we gonna start this shit off? We're gonna start with R.Kelly. Before surviving R.Kelly, because I didn't watch that shit yet. I supposed to binge watch that shit. I had the link and everything for it, but like at this point, we already know who R.Kelly is. It's like this whole docu-series came out, and all of a sudden everyone's surprised, and it's like we're supposed to be surprised. We didn't know R.Kelly was a rapist prior to this. Like, we didn't know that he had sex with underage women prior to this whole docu-series. It's not like we found out that he was aggressively... Actually, no, I can't say that. Never watched it. I don't know if new facts came out and he was more than just a statutory rapist and he was actually aggressively beating bitches and doing all sorts of crazy shit. Who knows? Who knows? But the whole thing... The reason why a lot of people have controversial... unpopular opinions about this whole R.Kelly thing is because a lot of these girls, it's like we knew who R.Kelly was for years, and why are these girls putting themselves in the position to be near R.Kelly and be his girlfriend or be his girls or whatever? But at this point, as I said before, this is before watching Surviving R.Kelly, so I'm not going to delve too deep into it because I have not watched it before. I'm yet to watch it, so I'm gonna reserve judgment of whatever the hell situations of whatever who I can't participate in any of these unpopular opinions that I'm hearing, and I'm seeing people get roasted and unfollowed and all sorts of people blackballing people people because of their comments and commentary on this whole R.Kelly thing. So I'm gonna definitely watch it before I get back to the podcast and, get my thoughts out on that shit. But before watching Surviving R.Kelly, I can already tell you that we already know he's a rapist. So does that affect the way people look at his music? I don't think so. Mostly from what I'm seeing right now, they're not gonna retire R.Kelly's music. They're still going to step in the name of love. They're still going to play that shit at their weddings. All that shit's still going to be popping for music reasons. But are anyone going to go to his concerts? Is anyone going to support him like that going further? Is anyone going to support his new music? Well, I think it comes down to how good is the actual music, because people will definitely support R. Kelly musically and not support the person. People continue to support R. Kelly musically. Even Kendrick Lamar, when R. Kelly's music and XXXTentacion's music was getting stripped off a playlist and all sorts of shit back then. Was it a year or two ago? And yeah, a lot of artists had a problem with it, Kendrick Lamar being one of them. People don't want R. Kelly's music and his catalog compromised because of what it means to music and what it means to R&B. When they had the King of R&B conversation, R. Kelly's name was brought up for the 90s generation, 2000s, and all that shit. He's been a very prominent artist when it comes to making those big-ass R&B records. So it's like, I don't think people want to throw out those classic vintage records, but we're still going to throw out R. Kelly. It seems like everybody's on. I think people pretty much understand that he's not going to make any more classic records, so they're done with them. They're ready to throw him away. They don't care about his well-being. And as a rapist, I don't think anybody should care about your well-being, and I don't think anybody's going to rise to your defense, because bottom of the barrel scum at the end of the day. I got to see that docu-series. I got to see those. Okay, it's called Surviving R. Kelly. You know how horrid that sounds? That sounds so horrid. Like, surviving the nigga, like, what the fuck? Is he's like Jason, he's chasing you down with an axe? It's like, yo, it's like a trim. Like, they make it sound, and when I see those previews and shit, it's like they make it sound like the fucking worst shit in the world. So like, this guy was a vile He was they tried to seem like, from the previews, it was like he was super controlling. One of the girls in the testimonials said he wouldn't let her talk to anybody else in the studio, just look straight, all sorts of things. But some of those things were kind of like, okay, it just sounds like a bad relationship, like your boyfriend's controlling. But who knows what else it could have been. It could have been some next level shit. I never listened to it. Then that's why I got to keep saying I can't say anything until I watch the flick, because I don't have the information right now. I'm devoid of the information, so I won't pass judgment on the specifics and the details of each woman's encounter. I don't even know how much women there are in the film, but it seems like there's a lot. I will say something though. A lot of people are saying this about Dame Dash. Dame Dash claims he never liked R.Kelly because of the whole Aaliyah situation, and she had problems with him. And rest in peace, Aaliyah. He basically said how she would tell him like bad stuff about he's a bad guy or this and that, and he just didn't like R. Kelly when she passed or whatever. So when was the Fiesta video with? Because he was in. Everyone's going in on Dame Dash saying you were in the Fiesta video with the bottles dancing and everything with Jay-Z and R. Kelly, that song. So it's like, is it a little bit of revisionist history now? People are taking a different stance because of what's going on. Who knows? I don't know too much information. And once again, this is a podcast full of bringing up a topic and not even discussing it because I'm devoid of information at the moment. But the next podcast, I will definitely have the information. Probably not. Probably forget it. Probably won't care to talk about this. Actually, no, I will. I'm going to watch this movie, and not the movie. Probably 2 podcasts from now, I'll watch the docuseries. I'm in no rush, man. A lot of people get on this hype beast wave, and they just in a rush to do everything and discuss everything, get on all the hot topics. I don't know, man. I'm not that interested. I know who the guy is. I don't think the thing's going to change my opinion of the guy too much. Like, let's be real. He's a rapist. I'm going to come out of that series knowing that he's a rapist. Same shit. It seems like Sandra Bullock's first major blowout movie or box office like blockbuster. It's not even it's on Netflix, but Bird Box is her first. Like, it seems like nobody knew who the fuck she was, and it's crazy. Like, I knew who Sandra Bullock was for years. I thought everybody knew she was like a super famous actress, but looking at these movie titles, I don't know that she had a real big movie that people would recognize and remember her for. That's what it is. She's been in so many movies, but she hasn't had that role that, it's weird. It's so weird that it took this long, 50-year-old Sandra Bullock, for everybody on Twitter and all these youth, all the teens and everyone to be like, oh, who's Sandra Bullock? She's a pretty old white woman that looks like she's aging well. That's the consensus. And it's like, have you not seen or know who? Like, it just, for me, it's baffling. I've known who this woman was for years. I thought everybody did. I thought she was one of those household names, but apparently not. Let's see the list of movies. So Bird Box, The Proposal, The Blind Side, Ocean's 8, Miss Congeniality, Speed. What was it, 1994? Holy fuck, that's old. Is that Keanu Reeves? Okay, Gravity, 2013. I think I seen Gravity. The Heat, Spoken Reasons was in that. Shout out Spoken Reasons. I spoke on Spoken Reasons one time before on the podcast. I didn't want to come off like a hater. I support Spoken Reasons, and what he's going through is some fuckery. Let's get off of Sandra Bullock's movies for a second and transition to Spoken Reasons. YouTube's a very tricky game because it's like almost like favoritism. They will take you out of priority. They will see that your things are doing good, but I think his major problem with his because he's had a problem with his views and his reach. He has 1.9 million subscribers. A lot of people should be getting his videos, and they're not getting his videos. That's a tricky thing about YouTube when you're a YouTuber. But I think it's because he doesn't put @ Spoken Reasons in his videos anymore. His videos that got the most clicks had that shit in the title. I think that was his problem. I don't know if y'all follow Spoken Reasons. If you guys were on, see, there was a wave. There was a YouTube wave that existed probably about 5-6 years ago that was like big, died out, didn't really last throughout this generation because a lot of shit happened. But there was the wave of Spoken Reasons, Dormtainment, Hot Damn I Rock, all those motherfucking YouTubers, those comedy, those independent comedians. Before the whole Vine and Instagram shit took over and kind of took the attention away from all that shit. There was the YouTube comedians and shit that made all those YouTube comedy skit thingies. And beyond comedy skit, he did Spoken Reasons did spoken word, music videos, rapping, singing, all that shit. That's what you gotta be now. Nowadays, you can't just do one thing. You gotta do everything. You gotta put your hands in, dabble in a bit of everything. You can't just be in one field of entertainment because people get bored and they move on. You gotta rap, you gotta sing, you gotta act, you gotta do everything. It's fucking crazy. But yeah, if he ever watches this video, I hope he just starts putting Spoken Reasons in his videos again. Probably get more views like that. That's the only thing I could say because I'm subscribed. I watch the video still. I see everything. A lot of people don't. Whatever. What else we got on the docket? It sucks at this time of the year, and a lot of shows go away for this time because nothing's going on. There's no news. There's no hot things going on. Things for people to discuss. The Breakfast Club and all those things have been just banned for so long. The sports TV shows have substitute motherfuckers in there. Like, nobody cares around this time of year. There's no news. There's no nothing. No media buzz unless someone does something and changes everything. Unless there was a rap beef popping right now. Other than that, there's no news. There's nothing. There's this R.Kelly shit and the whole Bird Box sensation shit. But other than that, there's the Black Mirror movie. A lot of people were back and forth on that shit. Some people liked it. A lot of people didn't. They didn't like the fact that they can make the decisions for themselves. I like that whole thing. That thing was creative. It was innovative. I like the fact that I could watch a movie and be like, you know what, I want you to do this. Pour the fucking shit on the the laptop, or do whatever the fuck I choose you to for you to do. But the problem with that movie was, I don't know what the problem with the movie was. I don't think the storyline was great enough. It was interactive and everything, but I don't know if it was just most people's problem was the fact that they didn't want to make the choices, but I don't think that was the major problem. I think the major problem was the story was kind of bland. Although you can go in different directions, and I didn't go all the directions because I've only watched it through once and made the choices once. Who knows if it would have went another way, but it seems like it all ends up with the same thing. But who knows? Who fucking knows? That's the tricky part of that. I'm not going to want to go back and watch that plenty of times because the thing about those books, those choose your own adventure books, because that's what it's based off of, right? It's your choose your own adventure. You can read through those books multiple times. You can turn back and flip back to the page. Okay, let's see what's going on there. You're going to be interested to read through the book, but to watch a movie and go back and just keep rewinding and making choices and seeing the guy repeat something and then go to, I'm not going to want to do that. I don't have the attention span for that, because I'm going to have to watch him repeat a bunch of things before he makes a new step through another thing. And it's repetitive. If they could have executed it in a little bit of a different way, then maybe, but still, it's still generally the same movie, the same concept. You get bored, you just want to move on. There's too much shit out. There's way too much entertainment out now for you to just be stuck on sitting down and watching one movie and taking 10,000 different paths down the same movie. It's like, nah, and your movie's not that complex too. Maybe if it was a little more complex, a little better cast, more characters, different things that, maybe if it was a little more like a different creative type of world type of movie. But other than that, you're not going to keep my interest. All right, let's get to the sports talks. I gotta revise a couple of things. That's why I gotta bring the sports talks in this. Um, First revision. Let's look at the Lakers. 1-5 since LeBron's been out. The Lakers have been straight trash. But it's not just LeBron out. Kyle Kuzma got injured. Rondo's hands broken or some shit again. It's like the top three guys that you can rely on: LeBron, Kuzma, Rondo. Those are the three most reliable players on the team. JaVale McGee's good and everything. He puts in work, but his work is predicated on LeBron driving and clearing up space for him and dishing it out. Rondo clearing up space and dishing it for him. Lonzo, dishing it to him. So it's like he needs someone to create. Those three are the most consistent players on the team. They're all out and everybody else is crumbling. Lonzo scored 16, 10 in one game. And then the next game, he was, 0 points, 7 assists, 5 boards, some shit like he can't. He's too hot and cold. He's entirely too inconsistent. Josh Hart had some rough games too. Brandon Ingram is just not. We gotta trade Brandon Ingram. It just seems like he can be a KD, Giannis type of guy, but he's never gonna be that. He's never gonna be a volume scorer. He shoots like 5 for 16 every time he takes 16 plus shots. Like, he's not that guy. He'll take 21 shots, score 16, 17 points. Like, he's not a guy to score 26, 27. Like, Kuzma can put up 35 in a game. Kuzma could put up 25. He can put up 30. He can put up those type of numbers. Lonzo seemed like he could have back then. Like, last season, he showed sparks of it, but I don't know what's going on with Lonzo. Lonzo hasn't had one like big breakout scoring game all season, so I don't know what the fuck's going on with Lonzo. Yeah, man, it's rough. It is rough. I had to reevaluate it because I'm like, we got to keep Josh Hart, we got to keep Lonzo Ball. I like the Ball family. I'm a Ball family fan, but Lonzo, man, he has to get it together, man. It's not a good look. It's not even just the offense. Sometimes some of the defensive plays. Like, I was watching the last 2 games with Lonzo, and I'm like, this nigga got to be injured. Like, this nigga has to be injured. The way he's moving, he's not moving the same. He's not picking up the same speed. He doesn't have the same lift. He doesn't look as engaged. Like, there's something wrong with him when you watch the like. I don't know, man. It doesn't look like the same Lonzo. It's not the baby mama drama and the life shit taken away from him. It's definitely not that. Yeah, I don't know, man. Lakers are about to drop out of 8th in the play. Like, it's terrible right now as it stands. What are they, 21-19? Their record got butchered since LeBron's been injured. And LeBron doesn't get injured, so it's like, who could have seen this shit coming? Lakers fans everywhere are devastated. No one wants this shit. James Harden. Okay, let me revise my James Harden speech. I questioned if James Harden was top 5, and a lot of us, everybody's guilty of it. Whether you're a media member, whether you're just some nigga talking to your friends in the street, I feel like a lot of niggas, we like to put Anthony Davis and Giannis, and we like to put them in places above people like a Kevin Durant, a James Harden, a Russell Westbrook. But at the end of the day, those guys are, as you can look at them and be like, they're elite talents, but they haven't done anything yet. And everything James Harden is doing this season with the scoring, I know he might finesse the rules a bit. He might get away with some fuck shit. But what he's doing this season, when he's been doing consistently, it's like, at some point, we just got to be like, okay, you just got to give it to him. You have to put him in the top 5. You cannot have a top 5 NBA players list without James Harden, the way he controls the scoring. He's leading the league in scoring and assists. So it's like, you can't lie anymore. You can't be biased. You can't do none of that. You have to put James Harden in the top 5. Wherever you place him, that's up to you. That's debatable. That's where it becomes not such an objective feat. It becomes a little more subjective, picking the nitpicks between the top 5s, whoever's in your top 5. But at this point, I feel like you have to put James Harden in the top 5. Whether it starts with LeBron and ends with, James Harden, number 5, or like, it'd be like LeBron, Steph, KD, Anthony Davis, James Harden, or like Giannis, James Harden, yeah, whatever your list is, whatever your order it is, James Harden has to be in the top 5. He was one game away from essentially a championship, because if he beat Golden State, he would likely, I don't know. That's the narrative. He would have likely beat the Cavs, but James Harden against LeBron, I gotta pick LeBron. Yeah, I know James Harden had a better supporting cast, but at that point, nah. The only people that were taking LeBron, the only team that was taking LeBron away from a championship last year was Golden State. And if JR didn't flub that first game, the Cavs would have probably lost in 6. I don't think they would have been so demoralized. I don't think they would have got swept after they won that first game. I think they would have won that first game and won one game at home and then lost the rest. But yeah, let me get off that. James Harden is definitely top 5. One thing I'm noticing though, when I look at Lonzo Ball, and I'm like, Lonzo Ball doesn't look the same. When I look at LaMelo Ball he's definitely the best in the family. Like he's dealing with these kids in high school and he's not even trying. Like he's shitting on these motherfuckers and he's not even trying. Like he looks relaxed out there. He's not even breaking a sweat. He's looked like he's played so many professional games and so much higher talent that he plays with these kids, and he's like, these are kids. They might be my height, they might be my weight and shit, but they're just not my experience level. They're not my skill level. They can't finish consistently the way I do. Like LaMelo is just destroying these kids. I don't know what the rankings are for high school basketball players right now, but he's definitely the best high school basketball player that I'm seeing right now. They like to boost up these other little kids and shit, but nah. LaMelo, I don't want to jump the gun and say he can play in the NBA right now, but I don't know, man. Sometimes I look at Lonzo, I'm like, yo, get LaMelo in here, man. Let's get Melo in here. Shoot some fucking threes from 40 feet, drive to the rim and finish a little more aggressively. Melo's dunking on niggas now and shit, so it's like, it's a different Melo out here. And he stole the name. Carmelo's retiring. He doesn't even know that name anymore. Every time you say Melo, everyone thinks you're thinking of LaMelo Ball now. So, man, dipped that name. All right, I'm not going to go through these topics. I have another episode to record right after this. Yeah, I'm spilling the beans, buddy. I'm telling the audience. Before I get out of here, I don't want to make this episode a little too short. I might add some music at the end. Actually, I am adding some music at the end. I got some sleeper picks. Not sleeper picks, just some throwback old songs that I just want to throw on the podcast because I can. I don't know. What's wrong with this later? Yo, the phone's always trying to update on a nigga. All right. I'm talking about bullshit. Let me not get this on the podcast. Yeah, subscribe to my channel, man. I have another channel. Blunt Talk with LT, another channel. The channel is going to be uploading clips from the podcasts. Yeah. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel and you're just watching this video, subscribe to Stack Gwop on YouTube. Subscribe to Blunt Talk with LT on YouTube. Subscribe to Blunt Talk with LT on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Castbox, Breaker, all that shit. Make sure you subscribe, man. My numbers, my view count and all that shit's been going up, but the subscribers ain't, you know what I mean? People are coming, but what the fuck, man? Y'all motherfuckers need to subscribe. I'm out here, I'm putting out shit, you know what I mean? Subscribe. You're gonna see a constant stream of shit. So, pause. Well, that's not a pause, but it just sounds filthy. All right. Blunt Talk with LT, stackwop.com, stackwop.com/shop.